What we want to know is, what can we expect from Stefan Schrock, the football coach? Well, let's find out. Joining us right now for an all-out conversation live in the studio is the man himself, the GOAT, Stefan Schrock, as well as Julian Schwarzer Garcia of the Ascals development team, live here inside the studio, CNN PH headquarters. Good morning, brother. Good morning, Julian. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the studio, Schrocky, and welcome. First time, right, here?
Yes, first time. Thank you very much.
How are you doing, brother?
Thank you. Thank
Nice
you.
to
Very
see
good.
you.
Thank you.
I mean, you need to get a hand there with a face of Philippines. I am Philippines football. I'll start with Schrocky because I've known him a long time. And last time we spoke was during that controversy with former head coach Thomas Dooley. How are you, first of all? You look good. How are you doing before we get on to that coach talk, being a mentor and everything? How are you, Schrocky?
Very good. Thank you. It went the way it went in July or in June when it was, and it's all over. It belongs in the past. I'm looking forward to come back and form the future.
And you are focusing, of course, on mentoring these young guns and imparting your knowledge to these young players. How has it been so far? Being the captain, being the playing coach of the ADT.
It's a different work, different type of work. Obviously, it's a bit more than just bringing your boots to the training and perform there. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the path, the embrace the challenges, and I grow every day.
Is there a conscious effort on your part, Schrocky? You said grow. So was this the plan ever since? Like, you want to be the coach of the future football stars, Julian among one of them. Was that really part of your plan all along?
Yes, of course. I always love to be involved in mentoring the young kids, and then eventually I took my coaching license, and now I'm part of the coaching staff and play at the same time. So I use my influence on the pitch, off the pitch, to give in some input, and eventually I want a gun after the Ascals head coach job, of course.
Yeah, go for it. I think you are that man for the job. Are you ready for me to ask him, how are you as a coach? Or I'll say that for later.
Yeah, I briefed him already.
You're scaring the kid, man. He's just 22 years old. Let's take a look first at your post before I head on to Julian. I remember that post. That was the reason why I reached out to you again and messaged you, right? I don't know if we have it, but from your own words, your post on there it is. Here it is. I'll breed us the next batch of Ascals PH and Ascals development team players very soon. Stay tuned for my football academy. Say whatever you want. I am Philippines football. End of quote. And you have a vast experience. Strong words. Bold statement towards the end, but I agree with you. I was joking with you. Do you honestly believe you are Philippines football?
I am. In modern history, no one ever achieved what I achieved, and those who say different don't know the sport.
There you go. Can I say also, I am sports?
You can.
You say I'm Philippines football. I am sports. I don't know if I have the guts to say what you did. But how about your academy? You said stay tuned for my academy. Can you tell us more about it, Schrocky? Like what's that academy about? What are you planning to do?
We have now with the Ascals development team a youth program that is allowing scholarships to participate in the Pro League and get their first experiences dealing with heavier, bigger, more experienced men. And I thought it was a lot of work to get them into a stage where I was happy and I could work with.
Yeah.
And it's a big transition, obviously 17, 18-year-old joining the professional league.
Of course, yeah.
And dealing with all the school stuff and all that girlfriends and whatever it's nowadays is on. And I thought maybe I can funnel everything starting 14 years old and then groom them into the Ascals development team and eventually end up at the Ascals. So you have, I think it's unique in the country that you will have the pathway 14 or younger and grooming into the Ascals development team, eventually end up as an Ascals player.
You know what, Schrock? I've been saying it for years. We need that. Grassroots. And it's the same as well in other countries, right? I'll go to Julian. Like, you see other countries develop young players at a very young age and then eventually being part of the national team eventually. Julian, Oh, good morning. Welcome to the show. Sorry, I was
morning.
just doing a catch up with my friend
No
here.
worries at all.
So let's trace your roots. You, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. How many passports do you have?
5.
What did you say, Schrocky, when you heard that? You were
It's either terrorist or James Bond things.
Don't give it up.
5 passports for this kid, Julian
Yeah.
Schwarzer Garcia, because your father is half Australian and half German.
Yeah.
Your mother is half Filipina, Spanish. This
Spanish
is as
and
well.
Australian as well.
And you're Australian as well. You were born in
England.
England and you were raised there. So you have English, Australian,
Spanish,
German, and Filipino passport.
yeah.
Okay. So all those roots, actually, if you think about it, a lot of all major football countries. So where do you think you got your football genes? I know your father used to be a goalkeeper, but is it more from your father's side or your mother's side?
I think it's both, because obviously my father originally is the closest relative to me who was a Premier League footballer in England. But my Tito Vitan,
Yeah.
he actually played for the Azcals quite a long time
Way
ago.
back, yeah.
So
The brother of your mother?
yeah, so the brother of my mum, of my lolo,
Your lolo,
on my mum's
okay,
side, yeah.
okay.
So you can argue the football genes maybe come from both sides here. So, from the Filipino side and the German side.
But you chose to be part of the future Philippine football team.
I did.
Because you could choose to be Australian, you could choose to be English, you could German and so on and so forth. But why the Philippines? Why choose to play and represent the Philippine flag? Be like Schrocky here, who is represented and give glory and pride to the country. Why do that?
It's for my lolo, really. My lolo is someone who really inspired me in football. Aside from my dad, my lolo has always pushed me to follow my dream as being a footballer. And he's the Filipino one in my family, and it feels an honor to represent him and the nation, with him in my heart the whole way. So it's all for my lolo.
Schrocky, you brought this kid. When I talked to you on the phone, bring a kid, bring one of your players. Why bring Julian? What can you say about Julian? He seems like a really good kid. He's still young, obviously. Do you remember when you were 22, his age?
I cannot remember that.
Long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
How do you describe this kid? Because he's like your little brother, of course. You want what's best for Julian as well, especially as he try to represent the Philippines, hopefully in major tournaments as well.
Well, we have the fortune in the Philippines that we have plenty of good goalkeepers. We have Neil Etheridge, obviously, the Michael Fikes guy who kind of retired, and we have Kevin Ray Mendoza, then there's Patrick Dato in the Thai League.
Correct.
And in the younger section, we have Quincy Camrad, we have Anthony Pintus, but for me, Julian, not only that he's my teammate, he's the most exciting one, he brings so much quality, so much professionalism to the table, and he's someone people should get familiarized with because he will take over sooner or later.
Wow, strong words from your coach. How about Schrocky? Here it is. Here's that question. No, because it's funny for the benefit of the viewers. When I was talking to these two in the dressing room, I asked Julian, can you describe Schrocky in one word? How's Schrocky as a coach? And what did you say?
The real deal.
You said scary.
No. I'm not even.
You said scary.
That was a joke off air.
Oh man.
I'm serious. He's the real deal.
You intimidated me right away.
Yeah.
Don't say that on air.
No.
No, but
I'm being serious. He's the real deal. There's no messing around. It's serious business going on, and this guy is the man to bring the country forward.
so not scary.
No. He didn't stutter when he said he's Philippines football. He really
Yeah,
is.
I believe that.
I'm
yeah.
fully behind that, and I think everyone needs to get behind that, definitely.
Yeah.
It's the way.
But Schrocky, of course, has been through a lot. If there is one quality or one character trait that you want to, adapt, like just looking at Schrocky, seeing him on the pitch, off the pitch, with his family. He's a family man, and the way he is with social media, the fans, the media, just a great guy. Because sometimes he's misjudged, he's misunderstood. Correct?
Yeah.
You agree with me on that one?
Of course, yeah. Of course. I see him every day, day in, day out, and
Yeah.
he's, what some people may think of him is nothing like that.
If there's one trait that you want to acquire from Schrocky, what is it?
It's the fact that he encapsulates what an Azkal is. He's the hunger. Schrocky is an Azkal, and that's what anyone can bring into their daily life and into any sport and anything they want to be elite at is to be an Azkal, the Filipino street dog, the fight.
You want to respond to that? Or you want us to go on a break?
Better have a break.
I think this guy's going to cry already. That's a goal. Make Stefan Schrock cry on national TV. Our all-out discussion with Coach Stefan Schrock and Julian Schwartzer Garcia will continue after a really quick breather. Stay tuned to Sports Desk only here on CNN Philippines, where we go all out for the day. Stop sports stories. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Desk only on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, as you can see, Stefan Schrock, face of Philippine football. He is the GOAT. And, of course, young football goalkeeper of the Philippine football team, Julian Schwartzer Garcia of the Ascos development team. Schrocky, I want to ask you this question. How's the response of the younger generation right now in terms of trying out for the national football team? Because it's rare you see kids like Julian or other football players who want to represent the Philippines. I mean, rare in the sense that there are so many options now. Like, there are so many options on the table, and there are lucrative deals also elsewhere. But your response to these kids who, they're just passionate about Philippine football and representing the Philippines and wanting to improve the state of Philippine football as well.
Well, in terms of numbers, there's a lot of people, a lot of kids still wanna play football, still coming. And I have about 50 emails still to where I have to respond to where and when a tryout is happening.
Really?
Yeah, it's really.
So
really
anybody
good.
can just reach out to you. Sorry, but anybody can just reach out to you, just email you.
Yes.
Like, Mr. Schrock, can they audition? I mean, can they try out for the team? How can they be part of the team? Is that correct?
Obviously, there's like a seeding going on. I watch the highlight videos and check if the passport is ready, if the level of quality of play is good enough to compete in international games. But so far, there's a lot of people, a lot of kids wanna be an ASCA player and wanna wear the flag. So that's good. That's good. It's the fastest growing sport in the country. So it will be not long until we take over.
Where are we right now in terms of, because if we take a look at the last SEA Games, we didn't win the gold. Even in 2019, we didn't win the gold. Because I know we should start somewhere if you want to dominate, like be known also. Like, you know, the same thing I saw you at the Rizal Memorial when we watched the women's football team. And we're just really proud of the Filipinas. But we want to get there, obviously, right? To that point, playing the World Cup, hopefully. But now, where are we in terms of being dominant in the region, and then hopefully in Asia, and then being part of the world's elite?
I say in terms of the grassroots and in the terms of transition in towards a professional athlete, we are on a good, very, very good way. The national team itself is in a transition, so obviously we need younger, fresher blood, and we're reaching out to different sort of players. The local Filipino football players we got, they're going through the roof. Like the players we have in the team, 16, 17 years old. Standouts, absolute standouts. And if we form them and they fill out their bodies a bit more, then in about 2 years' time, there will be great results coming.
You mentioned, Julian, your tito, or the cousin of your lolo, right?
Brother of my lolo.
The brother of your lolo.
Yeah.
So I think he's your lolo, but you call him Tito. Played for the Philippine team for the Ascos way back. And then your father was a goalkeeper as well. Any advice that your father or relatives from the mother's side gave you? Any advice that they gave you that you won't forget and you could use eventually here with ADT and maybe in the future with the Ascos?
Is that at the end of the day, it's only you who's going to get yourself out of your situation. It's only you who's going to take yourself to the top. And if you don't believe in yourself and then put everything you have into it, then no one else will. So you gotta sell yourself and believe in yourself.
What's one, I know being because sometimes, like, for those who are not football fans, they think, I think goalkeeper's the easiest job on the turf. But no, it is one of the hardest, or probably the hard, right, the Shaki? No, because some people will say, oh, he's just there, like, just waiting by the post. But what do you want to improve on your game? Because I know being goalkeeper is the hardest, especially in the turf. Of course, what they do also, midfield and the strikers, like up front, it's really difficult. But you, as a goalkeeper, what else do you want to improve on your game, being a goalie yourself? And at the same time, of course, you're one step closer to being part of the men's national football team.
I think I'm just fairly new and untested yet. And my main thing is I want to establish consistency into my game. And if I can consistently play at a level where my boss is happy with me and I'm happy with myself, then we can start looking forward to something better. But at the moment, it's consistency and Moving forward, yeah.
No, we have to add on in
Go ahead.
the league during the PFL campaign.
yeah.
I think Julian picked up 3 times man of the match. We have the best defense in the league, even though we have by far the youngest squad in the league.
And that says something.
And that's probably also
He is the anchor. Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
that Julian is between the sticks. So he's done a very good job. He obviously educated well,
Yeah.
very, very great character so far into the team. And if it's the next thing is the Mitsubishi Electric Cup, the AFF Southeast Asian Championship, if you want. So I think he will be part of that, and he deserves to play a big role there.
Will he be invited to play?
If it's up to me, yes.
Is it up to you? No, it's not yet up to you, right?
Not yet, not.
Not yet. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
fine.
How about
maybe,
you?
Maybe we never
You.
know.
How about you?
Yeah, I should be there, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. You think the players? You mentioned the Philippines Football League, the PFL. You think these young kids are getting enough experience there, or do you think we need more exposure, more games, more tournaments to be played?
But there's always room for improvement in terms of the exposure. But I think it's huge already that we have the Ascot's development team competing for the 3rd year now in the Philippine Football League. Because the UAAP season is only 3 months or something for the
correct.
football,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the entire 9 months you train for nothing, and so they have an outlet, they have a chance to.
There's a window. Yeah. Yeah.
To compete with the very best locals in the Philippines, and that's huge already. That's a massive step.
Yeah. I didn't mention earlier. I did see you and your son, Matias.
Yes,
Yeah. I saw him. I saw Schrock and his son at Rizal Memorial. Right. That was a few months ago during the women's team, the Filipinas at the AFF, and it's just amazing to watch, amazing to see. And you've been there, Schrock. You've seen the highs and lows of the Philippine men's football team. What will it take, or should we copy that formula that, what can you say about the Filipinas having this great formula? They'll be playing the World Cup. And we want that to happen also with the men's team. What can we do to be like that, like the Filipinas' success right now, to replicate that kind of success?
The women's have a different setup than us. Most of the women's team, they're not employed in a football club, so they don't play in a league. That will change end of this month, where the Women's Football League will kick off in the Philippines. So they are available the entire year, while the men's team, we are employed in a football club. So we only have the FIFA window, which is like 14 days, 3 times 14 days during a year where they come together. That's quite difficult. But obviously the financial support, I mean, money is not everything, but unfortunately you need money for everything. So in terms of that, we definitely need a bigger help to make things happen and get things going.
Yeah, but it's amazing what they do there. Coach Alan Stajcic and the PFF and the women's, right?
Tremendous. Unbelievable job what they did and how they transformed the team into what it is right now.
Will you be there watching them at the World Cup?
No, I have a schedule, I can't go, but obviously we will root and we will wish them all the best. We're so proud and so happy for them that they done so well for the country, not only for their section of the sport, so for the sport in general.
You know why they're called the Ascals, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Because they're mixed, right?
Of course,
Ascals.
yeah.
Why should Julian Schwarzer Garcia be part of the Philippine Ascals?
I mean, I think I am the definition of an Ascar. I'm pretty mixed. I'm pretty. Yeah. So I believe that I've got a certain quality that I can bring to the team, which, even if they don't always need me, I'll always be there. And my hunger to play for this country and to do everything I can for this nation and to represent my family, my people will always be there. So I think my desire and my hunger, and then the qualities I can bring will always help me hopefully get that spot one day.
Schrocky, we have 2 minutes left, but I'll give you the last hurrah here before we close the show. What direction should the ADT take as soon as you complete your PFL campaign and you can talk to the people, you talk to the viewers here? What do you want to say, of course, for the Philippine football fans who've been rooting, who've been wanting for us to keep on excelling and growing and, as I said, replicate the success that we had also with the Philippine women's football team?
Well, we have, for the first time, people probably don't know, the ADT team is mainly, or the last 2 years, last two edition was picked with 22, 23-year-old players. This year, down to 16 years old. The majority, 80%, is just turned 18, 19. So Julian is probably one of the oldest, or is the oldest starter
oldest.
beside me. Yeah. So it's really a young team. So when I took over the ADT team, I thought maybe we start younger. We get them exposure younger. The results probably will be not the same as the editions before, but therefore you have more in the future. So next year there will be the AFF qualifiers for the under-23s, which they can compete. Then also the SEA Games probably will be an under-22 tournament or under-21. So the entire team is basically good to go. And they have 8 months, 6 months preparation, if you will. So, and that helps necessarily, even though you don't have the biggest funds, but the chemistry is there, the core is there, the understanding and the knowledge, the DNA, everything is set up. So we're just good to go and compete and bring hopefully a trophy into the PFF.
If there's a man for the job, that's Stefan Schrock, right? Agree?
100%.
Julian, thank you for being on the show. I wish I had more time with both of you.
Thank you
brother,
so much,
always.
Ryan.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Julian, the best of luck, man. Listen to
Thank you
this
very
guy. Listen to your boss. Again, we just spoke to the Ascos development team, goalkeeper Julian Schwarzer Garcia, and the man, Mr. Philippines football, Stefan Schrock, coach and player of the ADT. Thank you so much for being here again.